I'm Carol Clarke, president of Montague Miller and Company, and welcome to another Montague Miller Moment. We have Carter Montague with us today, and we're going to talk a little bit about land in Central Virginia, Carter, and that's something that you're passionate about, and you
Yes,
really enjoy actually marketing land, selling land, walking land.
Yes, I
Anything
do.
to do with putting on your boots and getting dirty, right?
Absolutely.
A little boy who never grew up.
You could put it that way, I guess.
Well, just tell me a little bit about how the current real estate market has impacted land values and what's going on with them.
Sure. Well, like other segments of the market, land values are down, in some cases substantially, from where they were the height of the market, 2005, 2006. There's a huge amount of inventory right now, and very few buyers in the marketplace, and of course that provides downward pressure on those prices. Another factor that's influencing the sale of land is the difficulty in getting financing. Most banks are simply not willing to lend on raw land, so you're left with trying to find a source like a farm credit, and it is doable, but it requires a larger down payment and generally a higher interest rate.
So when you say down payments, 30% or more?
Yeah, generally 30% or upwards of that.
Are the interest rates a little higher too?
Yes, they are slightly higher, and I don't know what they currently are, but they tend to run a little bit higher than a conventional financing.
Would someone be able to get seller financing on some parcels, you think?
Yes, that's a very good point. If a seller has the opportunity to offer owner financing, they will do themselves quite a favor by doing that, because it will enable more buyers potentially to purchase their property.
To look at it and purchase it, because actually in the current returns on your investment, if you were to put money in a savings account or a CD, you're going to get a very low interest rate. So a seller, if they were to finance the land that they had, they can actually have a good return on their investment, as opposed to where they could put it elsewhere.
It's beneficial for the seller and
for the buyer. So when you say there's a lot of inventory, is that small, large parcels,
it's
all
really
over the board?
Across the board, everything from half-acre residential lots, which would qualify as land, to thousands of acres of timber or farmland. And prices are anywhere, in the Charlottesville area, in the surrounding counties, prices are anywhere from $7,500 for a piece of land, upwards of $8-9 million.
It depends on the size of the property.
Right.
Do you see many? You said you are not seeing as many buyers in the marketplace, but there must be some good opportunities for buyers with all the downward prices. And I know that
there are opportunities for buyers, and some people that are in a position to take advantage of those. People that have a lot of net worth or cash buyers are taking advantage of those opportunities. One thing we're seeing though is that one difficulty in the land market is that a purchaser can buy a resale house right now for below replacement cost in many instances. So it's difficult for that piece of unimproved land to compete with that, because somebody can go out and buy an already existing property that's
which already has
Exactly.
septic or utilities in place, and they don't have to build, and they've got something that may have been built in the last 5 years, because we are quite frankly probably not even out of inventory of some of the new things that were built right at when the market sort of,
I think you're right.
I hate to say we had a tank, but we did have we've had a downward slide, I think that's fair to say. So there are some new things that would be built, and so somebody coming in buying, just say a 4-acre building parcel that has to put all the utilities and whatnot in. And
if you do the math and add it up, the buying that piece of property, putting those utilities in, and building the house might end up costing substantially more than what they can find a currently existing house.
The flip side is that if somebody wanted the land for a future use of some sort, now would be an excellent opportunity to make that investment in land, perhaps get that seller financing, and keep it for a few years and be in a great position, because land values, they're not making any more land.
No, they're not, and it's always been thought that land is a good hedge against inflation, and I think that is true. And depending on what happens with the economy and where we go, I think that having some tangible property as an investment would be a good thing.
Thanks so much, Carter. We really appreciate your being here today.